in grozovit padec v ozadju. Grozovit padec.
From the roar of cheering crowds to the silence of tragedy. In this video, we explore 6 devastating incidents that transformed live Olympic coverage into breaking news, reminding us that even in our most celebrated sporting moments, tragedy can strike without warning. From crashes to terrorist acts, these are the most horrific moments of the Olympics. Number 1, terror in the park, Atlanta, 1996.
Olympics at Atlanta's Centennial Park, a powerful pipe bomb exploded. A woman was killed and more than 100 injured in the blast that stunned the nation and the world.
The Centennial Olympic Games were in full swing, celebrating 100 years of modern Olympic competition. Centennial Olympic Park had become the heart of the festivities, a gathering place where thousands of spectators, families, and athletes came together to celebrate the Olympic spirit. Then, at 1:20 a.m., the unthinkable happened.
They were about to start a new song, and bam, just a really loud noise, and then we saw people bleeding. There was steel hitting people, and we were rushing people to medical.
A pipe bomb hidden in a backpack and packed with nails and screws detonated near a sound tower. The explosion tore through the crowd with devastating force. Alice Hawthorne, a 44-year-old spectator from Albany, Georgia, was killed instantly. Around her, 111 others lay wounded, their bodies torn by shrapnel in what should have been a moment of celebration. The Olympics had become a crime scene. Unfortunately, this is by no means the only tragedy at the Olympic Games. Number 2, Vancouver 2010, a practice run gone wrong. We move now to the mountains of British Columbia, where the world had gathered for the 2010 Winter Olympics in Vancouver. February 12th was meant to be a day of celebration. The opening ceremony was just hours away, and athletes were making their final preparations. Among them was 21-year-old Nodar Kumaratashvili, a Georgian luger whose passion for the sport had brought him to the world's biggest stage. The Whistler Sliding Center, with its lightning-fast track, was where dreams were made and broken. But on this morning, it would become the site of an unthinkable tragedy. As Nodar began his practice run, CBC's cameras were rolling, broadcasting the routine training session live. The track was notorious for its speed. Athletes regularly exceeded 140 kilometers per hour as they hurtled down the icy course. For Nodar, this would be his final run.
The crash was horrific.
The impact was catastrophic. Emergency crews rushed to the scene, but despite their desperate efforts, the young Georgian could not be saved. By a cruel twist of fate, CBC's live feed had captured every horrifying second, footage that would haunt viewers and forever change how the sport approached safety. But Nodar wasn't the only one whose Olympic dreams ended in tragedy. Number 3, men's team pursuit cycling, Alex Porter. After a year-long pandemic delay, the Tokyo Olympics finally arrived in 2021. But the wait hadn't made the competition any safer. 2 incidents would remind viewers that Olympic glory always comes with risk. At the Izu Velodrome, the Australian cycling team was chasing gold in the men's team pursuit qualifiers. Alex Porter, part of the world record-holding squad, was powering around the banked track when the unthinkable happened. His handlebars simply sheared off mid-race.
And he's got Kellen O'Brien right behind him, ready to take a push. And the first faller of this track session. And Australia have a faller.
I think that might have been an equipment failure.
In an instant, Porter was catapulted over the front of his bike at high speed, his body crashing hard onto the wooden track surface. BBC cameras and international feeds captured every horrifying second as the cyclist tumbled across the velodrome floor. Blood streamed down Porter's face as he somehow managed to walk away under his own power. His Olympic dream shattered along with his equipment. Can you imagine training your whole life for a moment like this, only for it to end in silence? Number 4, BMX racing semifinal, Connor Fields. At Ariake Urban Sports Park, American BMX champion Connor Fields was defending the gold medal that he'd won in Rio 2016. The semifinal should have been a stepping stone to glory, but the sport's inherent dangers had other plans.
Po finalne skupine, Fields je na notranji progi v ospredju, še vedno Fields, potem pa francoski ga je zaprl in grozovit padec v ozadju.
Grozowit padec Filca.
As Fields approached a jump during the chaotic 8-rider race, disaster struck. He was pitched head first into the track in a spectacular crash that left him motionless on the dirt. NBC's live coverage showed the devastating impact that would end his title defense with a concussion and facial fractures. The defending champion's Olympic journey was over before the finals even began. But it's not just athletes who make mistakes. Sometimes it's the track itself that turns deadly. Number 5, luge training run, Mateusz Sochowicz. Months before the games began, the yanking sliding center was already claiming victims. In November of 2021, Polish luger Mateusz Sochowicz was practicing on the track when a safety gate that should have been open remained closed. Traveling at high speed, Sochowicz struck the barrier with devastating force.
We saw this a lot last season. Lower S's. And they don't get the attention that Curve 9 or the Kreisel get on this course, but they have been the scene of a lot of crashes.
The impact fractured his left kneecap and left deep cuts across his leg. Speaking to Polish media outlet On It, the 25-year-old said the crash could have resulted in tragedy. I got the green light, so I moved on. For the first time, I was able to calmly ride these 2 difficult bends. Suddenly, however, I saw a closed gate on the track, he said. I then let the sled out from under me and took the position like a downhill skier. I was hoping that at this speed I would be able to jump over the barrier. However, everything was happening too fast and I didn't have time to bounce. The incident forced the FIL to mandate additional safety measures, but the damage to Sochowicz was already done. For some, tragedy ends a career. For others, it nearly ends everything. But they still get back on track, knowing the danger is always one turn away. Number 6, 2-man bobsled, Brad Hall and Nick Gleason. The Flying Dragon track's notorious Curve 13 lived up to its fearsome reputation during the 2-man bobsled competition. Britain's Brad Hall and Nick Gleason were on their 3rd heat when they lost control at the treacherous turn. ESPN's live broadcast captured their sled overturning and sliding on its side down the ice track before finally coming to rest. Remarkably, both athletes walked away with only minor bruises and even managed to compete in the final heat, a testament to both modern safety equipment and sheer luck. From the gleaming tracks of modern Beijing to the historic slopes of early Olympic venues, these stories remind us that behind every medal ceremony and record-breaking performance lies an uncomfortable truth. The pursuit of Olympic excellence has always demanded the ultimate sacrifice from some who dared to chase it. While safety measures have evolved dramatically since those early games, the fundamental equation remains unchanged. When human beings push the absolute limits of speed, height, and endurance, tragedy can strike in an instant. Do the Olympic dreams we celebrate come at too high of a cost? Which of these moments shocked you the most?